Good day to all. We, the members of Group 18, will be discussing the importance of culture in change management.
As defined by Cummins and Wally 2009, change management is a way of managing individuals, groups, or organizations in an effort to modify the state of processes, resources, or operations that are profoundly influenced by culture. Culture can be understood as the collective barriers, norms, regulations, and knowledge manifested and shared within a social group. AIDS 2020. According to Shin's model of culture, deep-rooted assumptions within culture can act as barriers or enablers to change. An organization's culture context plays a pivotal role in the effectiveness of change management initiatives. Ahmed et al. 2020. Therefore, change management practitioners must recognize and comprehend the cultural dynamics of the employee groups affected by change in Gidi et al. 2022. Culture is essential in change management as it has the ability to affect whether initiatives are accepted or resisted. Therefore, a key consideration for effective change management and the sustained success of organizational initiatives is understanding culture. Ignoring culture can undermine even well-planned initiatives while aligning change strategies with an organization. Culture can foster engagement and smoother transitions. Culture is vital for the success of any change management initiative.
Hofstede cultural dimension theory highlights how dimensions like power distance, uncertainty avoidance, and individualism affects employees' readiness to embrace change. Understanding these dimensions can help individuals and organizations navigate cultural differences and foster more effective communication and collaboration across diverse environments. Additionally, recognizing how these cultural dimensions can change over time due to the factors like globalization, technology, and social movement is crucial for adapting strategies and practices to meet evolving cultural landscape. Hofstede's framework also aids in identifying potential challenges associated with the change initiatives. For example, in cultures characterized by high uncertainty avoidance, employees may exhibit significant resistance to change, stemming from a low tolerance for ambiguity and a preference for predictable environments. To mitigate such resistance, organization can implement strategies that involve clear and transparent communication, phase implementation process, and opportunities for stakeholders' input. These methods not only enable smoother transition but also improve employees' engagement and acceptance for change initiatives across various cultural contexts. Hofstede's theory of culture offers valuable insights into the variance in cultural dimensions across countries, which substantially influence businesses' practices and organizational behavior in diverse cultural contexts. This framework is integral to understand its implementation for change management within multinational enterprise. Managers operating in these global organizations must possess a keen awareness of cultural disparities to effectively adapt their management strategies.
Different cultures approach goal oriented management in distinct ways depending on their core values and beliefs. In cultures like collectivist societies, where there is pronounced emphasis on teamwork, cooperation, and shared objectives, the individual cultures they tend to prioritize personal achievement and autonomy. Understanding these cultural differences is crucial for managers, especially when navigating the complexities of organizational change, as what may work for one group might not work for the other. We look at diversity in organizational change. Effective diversity management considers how people think, their background, job functions, and organizational differences. By acknowledging and valuing these differences, organizations can create a culture that is both inclusive and adaptive, allowing people to adjust to diverse needs. Despite benefits of diversity, organizations often face barriers that can hinder inclusion. For example, Biases can lead to inaccurate impressions about people, which often results in certain individuals within an organization being treated unfairly. Moreover, discrimination happens where it involves intentionally excluding certain people from access to opportunities, results, and rewards within the organization. To address these barriers and create a fair and inclusive work environment, firms can implement several key strategies. For example, securing top management commitment, raising diversity awareness and skills, empowering staff to address biases, rewarding inclusive behaviors, and providing continuous and practical training. For instance, Google is widely recognized for fostering cultures that promotes the well-being of employees and values diversity, creating an environment where employees feel supported and empowered to embrace change.
According to Judge 2012, accountability entails taking responsibility for what someone does. It guarantees that the promised outcomes are obtained within the allotted time. It becomes challenging to manage and accomplish change when there is no responsibility. Some barriers to an accountable culture are unclear roles and expectations. This is when responsibilities aren't clearly defined and it is difficult to hold individuals accountable. Fear of blame or punishment, where employees may avoid accountability to protect themselves in cultures where mistakes are penalized. Some steps to overcome accountability are to define clear roles and expectations, foster a supportive environment, recognize success and communicate shortfalls with staff, and set SMART goals to establish clear outcomes. Indeed, 2025 describes an innovative culture as a workplace environment that encourages employees to share creative ideas and solutions. It fosters collaboration in encouraging employees to convene and brainstorm to bring about new resolutions for their organizations. This boosts teamwork and team morale. Some barriers to an innovative culture include negative reinforcement for failures, which fosters fear, and fear stifles growth. There is also a resistance to change from the organizational leader's perspective. And in addition to that, the main concern of leaders is that an innovative idea is expensive to implement.
Understanding the importance of culture in change management requires a comprehensive approach that considers both structural and human dimensions. This presentation draws on behavioral theory and cognitive theory to explore how employee behavior, perception, and cognitive styles influence the success of change initiatives. First, we will explore behavioral theory. Behavioral theory serves as a fundamental framework for understanding individual interactions and behaviors within organizational contexts, particularly in the management of change initiatives. By examining the psychological and social dynamics that shape employee behavior, change managers can devise targeted interventions that enhance the effectiveness of change processes, ultimately facilitating smoother transitions and fostering greater employee engagement. Traditional change management often emphasizes the technical aspects, for example, the implementation of new processes, technologies, or systems. However, behavioral theory highlights the critical importance of addressing the human elements of change, which are frequently overlooked. Understanding employees' emotions, motivations, and concerns is essential, as these factors significantly influence their willingness to accept and embrace organizational change.
Cognitive theory provides essential insights into the ways individuals perceive and react to change. This perspective underscores the cognitive frameworks through which employees interpret new information and situations, thereby affecting their levels of resistance or acceptance. Research indicates that individuals possess diverse cognitive styles, such as knowing, which focuses on facts, interpreting, which emphasizes understanding, and innovating, which is oriented toward creative exploration. These cognitive styles lead to different responses to change initiatives. For example, individuals with conservative cognitive styles may exhibit increased resistance due to their preference for stable and familiar environments.
When managing organizational change, it is important to understand and adapt to the diverse thinking styles of employees, as this can greatly improve communication and overall change management outcomes. Employees respond differently to change based on how they process information. Some readily embrace innovative ideas and transformations, while others may require additional support during change initiatives. There are also those who need reassurance to feel secure and confident throughout the change process. By recognizing these differences, managers can use customized support, reassurance, and provide a clear rationale for the changes being made. This approach helps to increase employee acceptance and reduce resistance, creating a smoother, more positive transition for everyone involved.
The role of leadership in organizational culture. Effective leaders use a wide range of tactics to overcome resistance and successfully promote cultural change. They recognize the significance of empowerment, openness, and adherence to the organization's principles. They understand that change is a process rather than a final destination, and that long term success depends on cultivating a culture of ongoing learning and adaptation. Leaders are essential in promoting cultural change by setting the example. Leaders need to continuously exhibit the ideal attitudes and actions. Number two, provide support. As staff members adjust to the changes, leaders provide them with resources, support, and direction. Thirdly, empowerment. Leaders enable staff members to take responsibility for and participate in the culture shifts. Coordination and communication. When leadership communicates effectively, staff members are better able to comprehend the goals of the change and their part in it. Other examples are vision and direction, accountability, adaptability, and persistence.
Organizational culture and leadership have a dynamic and a mutually reinforcing relationship. Culture both shapes and is changed by leaders, and this reciprocal relationship emphasizes the importance of purposeful, value based leadership.
Presentation has discussed that organizational culture serves as a critical determinant in the change management domain. It significantly influences employee perceptions and behavioral responses to new initiatives, thereby affecting their readiness to embrace alterations in processes or strategic direction. A culture that exhibits resistance to change can hinder organizational progress, whereas a culture characterized by adaptability promotes innovation and enhances the efficacy of change management strategies. Consequently, cultivating a culture that embraces change is imperative for facilitating successful transformations within an organization. This necessitates a strategic focus on developing and maintaining cultural attributes that support flexibility and openness to change, thereby ensuring an organization's resilience and capacity for continuous improvement.